It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity.
The heart of your teams. The heart of Tennessee, Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan. The heart of Tennessee, Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the excitement of the NBA playoffs from Target Center in downtown Minneapolis. Grizzlies basketball is presented by FanDuel Sportsbook. It is Game 6 between the Memphis Grizzlies and the Minnesota Timberwolves. Timberwolves have never won a Game 6. They've never hosted a Game 6. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies trying to win their first playoff series since 2015. We welcome you inside Target Center. Hello again, everybody. Pete Pranica, Brevin 9 on hand. Rob Fisher will join us momentarily. Well, he was the man of the match with 18 fourth-quarter points. Ja Morant saving the Grizzlies in Game 5 after they were down 13.
Yeah, and they're going to need a huge performance from him in this closeout situation. These fans are ready to try to root on this Timberwolves team, and the Wolves defensively, they are poised to try to slow down Morant, at least in the beginning of the game. We'll see if Ja Morant comes out and tries to exert himself a little bit more in the first quarters to allow this Grizzlies team to get off to a better start here in this basketball game. The Wolves have been excellent in first quarter. The Grizzlies need to be better. But at the end of the day, you also need to finish basketball games. The Grizzlies have one of the best finishers in the game today.
Well, Minnesota's been great starting. They've been really good defensively against Ja Morant, at least in part because of Patrick Beverley.
Yeah, I thought Patrick Beverley has done a good job of mixing up the way that he has defended Ja Morant, whether it be picking him up full court.
Underperformed by everybody's expectations, Jaren Jackson Jr. Grizzlies need to get him going, but he needs to be more disciplined and not take as many fouls as he has.
Well, and the big thing for Jaren is if you want to find a rhythm and flow to the basketball game, you got to be available and in the basketball game. So for him, it is understanding his importance to this basketball team. Early in the game, space defenders out on the floor. Keep your hands straight up in the air when you goes to block shots. And on the offensive end, continue to take the shots that present themselves. But at the end of the day, we always talk about he is so important to this team. He just needs to be on the floor because his availability leads to Grizzlies success.
Dad here, conversations with him, trying to get him in the right mental frame of mind to play in the elimination game. Something he's never done.
Yeah, he hasn't done this Grizzlies team. They got to get accustomed to what it's going to take to win in these big moments. I know that mentally they'll be prepared.
Grizzlies trying to close out the Minnesota Timberwolves out in the Well, Brevin breaks it all down. Get the extension.
The crowd is oohing and on.
Get the extension.
The crowd is oohing and on.
Find a way out. What's all this for? It's got me turned around, but I can't ignore the feelings that I found in this whole damn thing that we got going. You hold the strings without me knowing. Why do I have to suffer through the thinking? Why do I have the feeling that we're sinking? I need to find a way.
and then you're popping. All right?
Tate goes up toward the rim and gets Rubino turn. Got off the shot and hit it. Oh my! There's gonna count the bucket. I am speechless. Embiid catch, turn, 2 Raptors on him. It doesn't matter. It's Joel Embiid's world. We're just living in it right now.
George, this is you. Danny, you're taking the ball out. On the hit, bam. Right when he gets past you, George, you're running out. Tobias, you're picking him, and then you're popping. All right?
Tate goes up toward the rim and gets Rubino turn. Got off the shot and hit it. Oh my! There's gonna count the bucket. I am speechless. Embiid catch, turn, 2 Raptors on him. It doesn't matter. It's Joel Embiid's world. We're just living in it right now.
George, this is you. Danny, you're taking the ball out. On the hit, bam. Right when he gets past you, George, you're running out. Tobias, you're picking him, and then you're popping. All right?
Tate goes up toward the rim and gets Rubino turn. Got off the shot and hit it. Oh my! There's gonna count the bucket. I am speechless. Embiid catch, turn, 2 Raptors on him. It doesn't matter. It's Joel Embiid's world. We're just living in it right now.
George, this is you. Danny, you're taking the ball out. On the hit, bam. Right when he gets past you, George, you're running out. Tobias, you're picking him, and then you're popping. All right?
Tate goes up toward the rim and gets Rubino turn. Got off the shot and hit it. Oh my! There's gonna count the bucket.
Minnesota, meanwhile, they have not won a playoff series since 2004, trying to force a Game 7 with Anthony Edwards, Jared Vanderbilt, Karl-Anthony Towns, Patrick Beverly, and D'Angelo Russell. Towns has had a magnificent postseason. Russell has been more of a facilitator than a scorer for head coach Chris Finch in his second season here in Minnesota after coming over from the Minnesota Timberwolves. Chris Finch said, "We just need less hero ball, more team play." That's one of the reasons why Minnesota has given up fourth-quarter leads. A lot of hero ball, not a lot of playing together. That's why the Grizzlies have been able to come back from behind. Steven Adams, health and safety protocols, Aldama and Tilly out as well. Naz Reid, personal reasons, will not play tonight. That's your life care injury report. But to the point Chris Finch made about his basketball team not playing together, not playing connected in the fourth quarter, and the Grizzlies have taken advantage.
The Grizzlies, a team that understands what they want to get accomplished in late game situations. Minnesota Timberwolves, a team still figuring out what end of game situations look like.
Home court advantage hasn't meant a whole lot in this series as we look at the results so far. Minnesota, a franchise record 130 points in game 1. Grizzlies winning game 2 at home, game 3 on the road, courtesy of the great comeback. Comeback falling short in game 4, and then game 5, the Grizzlies again a double-digit comeback in the fourth quarter. The make it a Game 6 and a closeout opportunity for the Memphis Grizzlies. Brevin, when you are in the huddle and you understand you are on the road, you are trying to close out a young and hungry Minnesota team, what's going through your mind?
The one thing that's going through the players' mind is you want to go out, get off to a good start, but execution is going to be huge here in this basketball game. So the Grizzlies, not just on the offensive end, but also defensively, multiple efforts.
All right, let's get our first AutoZone sideline report from our Bishop.
Well, it's a closeout game, a Game 6. Many say the closeout game is the hardest game to win. Earlier tonight, Pete talked to Taylor Jenkins, head coach of the Grizzlies, asked him about the mentality of going into a closeout game. Taylor said we got to find a way to play our best basketball. We've got to continue to do what we've done all year. It's going to be our toughest test of the season, but everything we've done since the beginning of the season, to the middle of the season, to the end of the season, it all has come together tonight. We've got to play our best game of the season. A win tonight by the Grizzlies would send them off to their first Western Conference semifinal since 2015.
When the Grizzlies took out Portland in 5 games before losing to Golden State in the broke-face series. And for this Grizzlies team, it really evokes what Taylor Jenkins said in Game 3. Big deficit heading in the fourth quarter. Just play your very best basketball. You do that tonight, you handle your business. You play Game 1 against Golden State on Sunday. If you have slippage and you do not execute, this is a Minnesota team that can make you pay.
That the Grizzlies have seen from the regular season into these playoffs. They've seen when the Grizzlies have not been at their best and have left the door open, the Minnesota Timberwolves have bust through that door. So expect for the Grizzlies to come out in this basketball game with the mental fortitude necessary to walk out with a victory.
Minnesota, just to recap, won the 2 regular season meetings in Minnesota. Grizzlies won the 2 regular season meetings in Memphis, and one of those in Memphis did go to overtime. And the loss here in Minnesota was one of the most lopsided losses for the Grizzlies all season. Now, Brevin, as you all know, we have 3 officials.
And they showed up on time.
They have been assigned by the NBA. Scott Foster, 28th NBA season, over 200 playoff games, 22 finals games. Courtney Kirkland, 22nd NBA season, over 40 playoff games. He's worked the finals. Mark Lindsay, more than 15 playoff games in his 15 NBA seasons. Carl Lane is the alternate tonight. And we got a little housekeeping to do here before we toss it up in Minneapolis. We have basketball still by the stands, so we got to clean that up. Kirkland looks to the scorer's table, and we are now ready to play. Again, Steven Adams not available, health and safety protocols. Karl Anthony Towns against Jaren Jackson Jr. on the jump. Foster will toss it. And once more under the breeze, dear friends, we are underway with Game 6 here on Bally Sports. Glad you're with us wherever you may be. Bain picked up by D'Angelo Russell. Russell moving a steal. Turnovers have been an issue, but more for Minnesota than they have been for the Grizzlies.
The Grizzlies have done a good job of being able to force and convert the ball here until the first quarter of the last game. The Grizzlies forcing turnovers in the first quarter, the reason why they even kept themselves in the game.
Grizzlies winning Game 5, 111-109. You know that Morant hit the game-winning layup. Grizzlies got out to a 13-2 start, and then Minnesota reeled them right back in. Minnesota, a fantastic first quarter team here in the postseason.
They did in that first quarter. 7-3 in that first quarter.
Towns drives, a fadeaway baseline gun is in for Karl Anthony Towns. Towns, the 14th leading scorer in the postseason. That's 23 a game.
And the big thing you want to do with Towns is make sure that you're contesting his shot as Bain misses that corner 3.
Bain has been lights out. He made 22 triples in the postseason. No one has made more. Klay Thompson has also made 22. Towns missing the runner, rebound Bain. These 2 teams played a very fast pace. Vanderbilt got away with a clear arm grab and no air in the whistle. Morant steals it back, so no harm done. A leak out by Bain against D'Angelo Russell lays it up and lays it in at times the game of change.
One thing, the Grizzlies continue to make plays. Good job by John Morant to get back into the passing lane, come up with a steal and direct points off of the steal.
Towns, Beverly, Missing the three and the rebound to Jaren Jackson Jr. Minnesota looking for their first playoff win. They'll need to do it in 7 games. They haven't won a playoff series since 2004. Morant drives in the paint, hangs, bank, no. Rebound Towns, quick outlet Vanderbilt, fast break opportunity. Beverly misses the runner and the rebound to Jackson.
And great defense by Jaren. Fake and fade, force Beverly to shoot the floater.
Brooks missing the scoop. And the rebound to Edwards. Grizzlies start 1 of 4. Minnesota likewise 1 of 4. Rebound to Edwards. Anthony Edwards averaging 24 a game. 11th in the league in scoring in the postseason. Jackson screens. Vanderbilt out on Morant on a switch, and it's knocked out of bounds by D'Angelo Russell.
See here on the break here, Morant is able to come up with the steal. Good throw ahead. Desmond Bain does a good job of using his body to shield Russell on that lane. The other partner on this other end, they had a mismatch with Beverly switched onto Jaren Jackson Jr. Should the Grizzlies take advantage of it the next time?
Morant, a step back done, and a rebound to Vanderbilt. He's shooting 45% in the series. Towns into Jackson, and a foul on Jaren Jackson Jr. is first.
Late help by Jaren, doesn't get here in time to see. The late reaction there almost could have been Dylan Brooks with a little bit of a push in the back as they catch Jaren with the body contact.
Non-shooting foul. Jaren just 18 minutes in game 5 before committing his 6th personal foul. It's been a storyline throughout the series. Beverly guarded by Morant, backs him down, and he dragged the foot, and that's a travel.
And better job by Morant there. We talked about not being a stopper, but keep your body in front of Patrick Beverly, force him to have to score over the top. But the bigger issue is don't force help that then allows the ball to move around into the Wolves with a rhythm 3.
Grizzlies all-time 4-3 in game 6s. The last game 6 a loss to San Antonio in 2017. Tillman with 9 to shoot. Against Towns, backdoor, Morant pitches it out. A Jaren 3, bango! Jaren Jackson Jr. triples the Grizzlies into a 5-4 lead.
Great backdoor cut, draws 2. Jaren, rhythm, knocks it down.
And that had to feel good. Edwards breaks free and lays it in. Edwards 22 points in game 5. At 36 in game 1.
The thing is, you don't mind if it's just one of the Wolves that goes big. You just don't want to have their 3 main scorers, all 3, be used in a game.
Shot clock down to 7. Morant. Dillon for 3. Down the well it goes for Dylan Brooks to the Grizzlies. Back-to-back 3. Well, the big 3 of Russell, Towns, and Edwards accounted for better than 60% of the Minnesota points in the regular season. It's down to around 52, 53% here in the playoffs. And Edwards is fouled on the pass-off.
We're going to get some shots on this, partner.
Fouls on Brooks. And they will give him shots.
See the back door there by Morant. Vanderbilt has to help at the rim. That leaves Jaren wide open in the corner. He knocked down the 3, and the Grizzlies then able to come right back. And because of the help from the corner, Dylan Brooks then knocks down the corner 3.
Edwards, 23 of 27 now from the free throw line. Brooks trying to bounce back from a poor offensive game in game 5, 1 of 10 from 3. As Edwards makes both.
I also think one thing you don't want to have is the last time we were in this building, partner, Dylan Brooks, Jaren Jackson Jr., Xavier Tillman, all early foul trouble.
Bain drives down the lane, floats and hits.
Again, that was going for a steal. Leaves the Wolves defense vulnerable the way that they lost game 5.
Now Edwards gambled on the steal, and Morant had a
good hand.
Good drive.
Good
Tillman
hustle.
going to the floor. Ball loose. Bain goes to the floor, but it's picked up by D'Angelo Russell. Short shot clock as there was no change of possession. It's down to 5, and Edwards open 3, and he bails the Wolves out of a bad jam and triples Minnesota to the lead 11-10.
You don't fault the effort or hustle at all by the Grizzlies there.
Morant, a floater, and he got hit on the arm. He'll go to the line.
And that is the shot that I love for John Morant to be able to get to here in this basketball game. Nice little floater there in the paint.
Foul on Karl Anthony Towns is his first. Timeout on the floor. 6:59 for the first. Great hustle by the Grizzlies, but Edwards with 9 already for Minnesota. Great hustle by the Grizzlies, but Edwards with 9 already.
Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep, counted for 2 and a foul.
Look at Odom. He finds Kobe, and Kobe with emphasis.
Double team Gasol now. The single coverage by Landry. Ariza drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Kobe Bryant! Hold on to your hats, folks. Here he comes. Kobe Bean with the elevation. Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep, counted for 2 and a foul.
Look at Odom. He finds Kobe, and Kobe with emphasis.
Double team Gasol now. The single coverage by Landry. Ariza drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Kobe Bryant! Hold on to your hats, folks. Here he comes. Kobe Bean with the elevation. Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep, counted for 2 and a foul.
Look at Odom. He finds Kobe, and Kobe with emphasis.
Double team Gasol now. The single coverage by Landry. Ariza drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Kobe Bryant! Hold on to your hats, folks. Here he comes. Kobe Bean with the elevation. Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep, counted for 2 and a foul.
Look at Odom. He finds Kobe, and Kobe with emphasis.
Double team Gasol now. The single coverage by Landry. Ariza drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Kobe Bryant! Hold on to your hats, folks. Here he comes. Kobe Bean with the elevation. Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant! Counted for 2, or let's see. Yep.
Durant to the line will resume action. But we have to tell you, tickets for the Grizzlies' next home playoff game will be Sunday at 2:30. Could be game 1 against Golden State. Could be game 7. They will go on sale tomorrow, starting at noon to the general public. Now, our MVP season ticket members, the first to get their next home playoff game tickets during an exclusive pre-sale beginning tomorrow at 10 a.m. To get your 2022 playoff tickets, visit Grizzlies.com or call 1-800-4NBA-TIX. The Grizzlies 2020 playoff presented by Orion and your Mid-South Ford dealers. Love the hustle. A lot of skin left on the floor.
And it's just unfortunate that all of the skin left on the floor didn't result in the Grizzlies' turnover, but resulted in Edwards knocking down that 3.
Edwards has scored the last 9 for Minnesota. Morant to the free throw line. Got off to a poor start from the line in game 5, 2 for 7, but made 9 of his last 10 in the fourth quarter.
In winning time, he was money.
Free throw shooting has been an issue for the Grizzlies, below 72%. They have tried 28 more free throws than Minnesota, but only 4 more makes.
And that is something when we talk about gaining more possessions. The way that you gain more possessions is by getting yourself to that free throw line. But when you do, you like to cash them in.
Minnesota, meanwhile, shooting 83% from the line. Kyle Anderson checks in and gets the deflection. So Jackson is out, and an early call for Kyle Anderson. Dillon, a baseline drive, hangs against Towns. Off the reload, got it, and put it back up and in.
Good stick-with-itness there by DB to come up with the offensive rebound putback. I got 2 points on offensive rebound. He got 5 points on turnovers. Grizzlies doing what they've done the entire series.
Towns pulling his way against Kyle Anderson, misses the bank. Vanderbilt wanted goaltending, but no air in the whistle. Grizzlies back the other way. Miranda, an early look, a Bain angle three. Bango, Desmond Bain. Bain was 7 in the Grizzlies, a 4-point lead.
Subtleties of the game. The ball fake by John Morant forces defenders to go with the cutter. That allows Desmond Bain to be naked from the three-point line.
Grizzlies 5 assists on 6 baskets, 4 of them by Morant. Lob for Towns, doubled on the baseline, tries to fight through it. Midway point first quarter, skip past Beverly. Top side Edwards. Russell tees up a three. That's in and out. And Brooks took the rebound away from Vanderbilt. Bain thought about pulling up. Can't get by Vanderbilt. Brooks took the rebound away from Vanderbilt. Morant and a foul on Beverly. Thought about pulling up. Can't get by Vanderbilt. First foul on Beverly, who fouled out in game 5.
The one thing I like about the beginning of this game, number one, Tillman able to stay in the game for the 6.5 minutes allows normal rotation for Brandon Clark, but also the ball movement of the Grizzlies here in this first quarter. Very good side to side, not allowing the Wolves to just settle in.
Dillon for three. Bango! Dillon Brooks, a rainmaker three. And the Grizzlies an 8-0 run since the timeout.
He's back here at the three-point line, knocking it down.
Bain with 10 here in the first quarter. Morant dribbles around Towns, attacks, pitches it back. Bain covered up by McDaniels. Brooks, a step back over Edwards. Kyle, offensive rebound, reverses it up and off. And a rebound to Beverly. A step back for Desmond Bain. Wow. Beverly against Morant. Brandon Clark is in. McDaniels will try the other side for three and make again. McDaniels just 32% in the regular season from three, but he did a couple of threes to keep Minnesota close. Grizzlies 6 of 9 from the long line, including 3 of 4 from Bain. Morant. Pass got deflected, picked up by Kyle. 8 on the shot clock. Morant, a three over Russell, going to be way short. That's deflected by Anderson, but back to Edwards. He drives. McDaniels, a ball fake, another three, it's in again. Jaden McDaniels, 3 for 3 from 3, matching the pyrotechnics of Desmond Bain. And the Grizzlies' lead once at 8 has been cut to 2. McDaniels was 1 of 1 from 3 in game 5. He's a perfect 3 for 3 tonight.
I need to know if you'll give me a second chance.
22 assists for Boston right now on 30 hoops.
Oh, yeah!
Inside, Tatum.
Oh, yeah, Marcus Smart! Let's go! When you're up big, you hit the deck. Look at Marcus Smart. Get that loose ball, and one way or another, the Celtics were going to score because that's what happens with Marcus Smart. Look at Marcus Smart. Get that loose ball, and one way or another, the Celtics were going to score because that's what happens with Marcus Smart.
To get you off my mind, and I know it's true, and I'll say this to you, I want you back. There's something inside, yeah, there's something inside that brings me back to you, yeah. No, I can't hide it, no, I can't hide it anymore. Something inside something inside. Yeah, there's something inside that brings me back to you. Yeah. No, I can't hide it. No, I can't hide it anymore. It's easy to set a young heart on the run, to see it crashing up the sky.
3 of 4 from 3 already to start this game. Taylor Jenkins on Dez's three-point shooting said, it's super important for us. We've been talking about it from a team standpoint, having better balance. He's thriving, but whether it's in transition or a drive and kick, he's getting it done. And if they're going to prioritize taking away the paint, we've got to be able to shoot the three ball. Now, Chris Finch, the head coach of the Timberwolves, he said we've got to find Desmond a lot earlier, be a little more in his space, and maybe make him put the ball on the deck. Des made 15 threes in the last 2 games here at Target Center.
Steal by Russell. Malik Beasley in for the first time tonight. Russell, this is the three. Tyus Jones in for the Grizzlies for the first time tonight, and another steal by D'Angelo Russell. The Grizzlies getting a little careless with some of their passes here since the timeout. Already the third steal for D'Angelo Russell.
And also you see a change in rotation here. Tyus Jones coming in early, playing with John Morant, something that they usually tinker with later in the basketball game.
Bane, his second double-figure scoring quarter of the series, also had double figures in the first quarter of game 4, and a block. Great play by Clark against Karl Anthony Towns. Brooks drives on McDaniels, throws up a wild shot and puts it in. Dylan Brooks with 10.
Hey, listen, Dylan Brooks has come with his offensive act here in this first quarter. Tough shots, but we always say one of the best tough shot makers in the league.
Morant picks up Edwards on a switch. 10 to shoot. Edwards drives in traffic and forces that one in. 11 for Anthony Edwards.
One thing Edwards doing right now in this game is being able to use his size and strength. Going to the basket, not using explosive moves, but physical moves.
Dylan puts his head down, misses the floater. Rebound Beasley. Edwards doing a lot of good things. 11 points, 3 assists, 2 boards as well, and has it now. Turns the corner against Morant. Mid-range jumper, that's in.
He and Desmond Bane right now, mano-a-mano in this first quarter.
13 apiece. Edwards 5 of 6 from the floor. All square at 26 after the Grizzlies led by 8. Anderson against Edwards.
On the rim, causing the offensive basket interference.
Dylan Brooks out, Desmond Bane back in. Kyle Anderson out, Jaren Jackson Jr. back in. Jordan McLaughlin is in for the first time tonight. He had the crucial assist on the Edwards 3 that tied game 5 before Morant untied it for good. Edwards feeling it. Anthony Edwards is on fire. A 16-point first quarter, and he triples Minnesota back in front. And Minnesota on the cusp of another 30-point first quarter.
You said it right now. He just has it going offensively. Grizzlies are trying to slow him down.
Jaren works against McDaniels. Dump down, guard in traffic, banks it in.
Beautiful setup by Jaren. Behind the back move initially, and then the perfect pass to DC.
Edwards in the zone, picked up by Morant. Trying to beat him off the bounce. Morant stays with him. Ball loose, picked up by Edwards, deflected, and then Bane lost it out of bounds. Shot clock. They're going to keep it at 7.
Yeah, I don't think the Grizzlies never really had control of the basketball, but the behind the back, recognition of the help defense, and then Brandon Clark able to adjust in the air and finish.
31.8 for the quarter, 7 on the shot clock. Both teams with a foul again. Beasley to trigger. Towns 5 to shoot. A step back 3 by Towns. Rimming no. Rebound to Bane. which is a chance to reclaim the lead. About a second difference shot clock to game clock. Again, Minnesota does have a foul to give.
Good job by the Grizzlies. There's going to be added energy here in this building. They've done a good job here in the first quarter.
And despite Edwards scoring 16, they haven't run away with it. And McLaughlin takes the foul. Shot clock no longer a factor. The Grizzlies have a 6.4 game clock to get something done here at the end of the first quarter.
Well, it's nice. The Grizzlies would be happy that they were able to have an individual go large in the first quarter to kind of match what Edwards is doing. His 16 somewhat.
And so Minnesota, after trailing by 8, lead it after one quarter, 29-28. Anthony Edwards and Desmond Bain. 16 for Edwards, 13 for Bain. Both teams red hot, 52% from the floor. That's better than 55% on both sides from downtown. Both teams red hot, 52% from the floor.
5.5 to go. Trying to tie the series at 2. Bain, 3-0-2 rejected by Jones. He is playing handball.
He's making this look ridiculous now. Look how far he started.
How in the world did he fall to the second round of the...
Beanie's got a couple of triples.
It's like every time down, Portland's playing against the shot clock as well.
Deion Johnson blocked away by Herb. Herb, take it yourself. He will.
Bumps it, like, deflects it out of bounds.
It'll be down to the Mitchell. Blocked by Herb.
Again. You're flying all over the place.
And a shot clock violation. Thank you, Herb.
At the three-point line.
So they grind it out, and the Pels did exactly that tonight. McLemore, how about Herb? He doesn't stop playing, even though it's already decided. So they grind it out, and the Pels did exactly that tonight. McLemore, how about Herb? He doesn't stop playing, even though it's already decided.
Don't tell me why. I know, no, you won't save my life. Save my life. Baby, keep on your making the waves. You and I will never be safe. Be safe. If the walls come down, will you pick me off the ground?
three-point shooters. Bain able to reel that one in. He drives. Tyus picked up by McLaughlin. First minute of quarter number 2. Tyus floats in the lane, got the bounce.
And that is now Naz Reid, his mobility. He can switch. Greg Monroe, more of a stay fluff big in terms of he'll float more towards the basket, won't be up.
Turns on the baseline and throws it away.
So it hasn't played a lot of minutes with this Wolves team. You see here as Tyus gets to the basket, what he said, Greg Monroe, the guy that is going to stay closer to the basket, and he is not an athletic shot blocker at all. So we'll see if the Grizzlies are able to use that against the Timberwolves.
Yeah, Reid averaging about a shot block a game.
And he's a three-point shooter.
Exactly. Yeah, Reid has played well against the Grizzlies in this series. Bain off the curl against Beasley in traffic. John Conchar couldn't reel it in cleanly. Shot clock inside of 5, and then Clark loses it to Beasley. Issue for the Grizzlies, early turnovers. 6 turnovers for 7 Minnesota points. Then again, Minnesota in the regular season led the league in forced turnovers and points off of turnovers. Clark 10 to shoot, attacks Monroe with his spin, elevates and hits. 21 points, a playoff career high, and 15 rebounds in Game 5 for Brandon Clark.
Again, have to take advantage of his immobility on the defensive side.
McDaniels 3 for 3 from 3 in the first quarter. Grizzlies get it out of his hands. McLaughlin sets up Beasley, an open 3, airballed it, and a loose ball foul. Will be called on the Grizzlies. Called on Brandon Clark.
Good knockaway here, good hands by Monroe, and then Malik Beasley says, I know I was dunked on, but I can dunk also. And you see as Brandon Clark loves that little spin into a nice little float.
Edwards drives, hangs, banks, no. Monroe offensive rebound and a stick back. That's what Greg Monroe can do, offensively rebound the basketball. Signed a 10-day with Minnesota on March 28th and only played 4 games with Minnesota in the regular season. Bain gets by Edwards, floats it up, off, tried to battle for it, and Beasley with a rebound. Minnesota a chance for the lead. 3 gone by second quarter.
Edwards wants a one-on-one opportunity here with Brandon.
McDaniels drives, and Conchar with a knockaway will get called for the foul. Conchar getting minutes, no Zaire Williams available to the Grizzlies tonight.
And one thing you know you'll get from Conchar, you're going to get hustled. He's going to be in the right position defensively. He's confident on the offensive end of being able to knock down a perimeter shot. But he's also a fantastic rebounder from that wing position, which they're going to need if Jaren is going to help. If BC is going to help, where the guards are going to have to get on the backboards, something that Conchar does a great job of.
McDaniels 1 of 2 from the line. For the Grizzlies with Jackson, Bain, Clark, Jones, and Conchar. Edwards has yet to take a rest for Minnesota. Bain off the curl, a Tyus triple try. Rebound tipped by Clark. Jaren got it, took it away from McDaniels. Jaren on the attack, banking, missing. Offensive rebound. Wanted a foul, got none. Rebound to Monroe. Edwards, an open 3. And that will careen out of bounds. The first 3-point miss for Edwards tonight.
Again, the activity for the Grizzlies, you like them working on the offensive glass. One thing you have to do, maybe some front fakes to be able to get through, or an offensive rebound. If you have 2 guys, the kick out usually for shots is available.
Grizzlies 5 offensive rebounds already. Shot clock down to 10. Clark works against Monroe. Backs him down. Pump fake, elevates, and we get a 2-shot foul opportunity here. Ball on Monroe.
How about the confidence that Brandon Clark is playing with. Not too many times we would see him be this aggressive to get scores, especially dribbling in from the perimeter. Done a great job against Monroe.
Averaging 16.5 points per game, third best bench scorer in the NBA. For more, Rob Fisher.
He's definitely playing with a lot of confidence, guys. I asked Brandon about that Game 5 performance afterwards, and he said, it's the playoffs, man. This is what I've been waiting for my whole life. You mentioned the 16.5 points. How about 8.5 boards as well for Brandon in the series? Karl Anthony Towns said that Brandon just knows where to go. He's always in the right spot at the right time. You go up for a block, and he magically is in the exact spot where the ball's coming off for the rebound. We've got to box him out better and do a better job keeping him off the glass. Good start again tonight for Brandon after that 21 and 15 Game 5.
Makes both free throws. He's got 8 of the 10 Grizzlies bench points. McDaniels has 10 of the 14 bench points for Minnesota. Beverly back in the game.
Here it is, the Wolves with none of their big three on the floor. Where will they get their points? Good work here. But Monroe able to just outwork Brandon Clark on the interior to come up with his second basket in the quarter.
Monroe appearing in his 29th career playoff game, averaging 6 a game in postseason competition. Jaren an open three. Down the well it goes for Jaren Jackson Jr. 2 of 3 from 3. He's got 6. And the Grizzlies lead it by 3.
So they just want Jaren to just be on the floor and available for this team.
Monroe backs him down, tries the up and under. Jaren with a block. And a great pair of hands by Tyus Jones to knock the loose ball into the Grizzlies' possession. Jaren sets up Conchar. Jaren steps out. Shot clock down to 9. Jones trying to create off the bounce through a crowd. Tyus, a turn and gun. And the rebound to McLaughlin. And a timeout taken by Minnesota.
We knew it was going to be highly competitive, partner. And that is exactly what we have here early.
Palms are sweating already. 6 and 46 for the half. Jaren Jackson Jr., 2 3-point makes and 2 blocks tonight.
I'm Stephen Curry, and this is my past, my present, and my future. Basketball is everything to me.
A lot of years of being in the gym by myself, running, lifting weights, all that kind of stuff. Building a foundation for later on down the road. 10 years I want to be known as a guy that played the game the right way. Hopefully still in the league and still effective in the league. It's something we always dream about, going through championships. Our goal is to win a championship, and it's one that's realistic for us. Pure joy. Holding that Larry O'Brien trophy is something that you dream about as a kid. Champagne in the locker room.
They want to do it again. That's it.
I always want a little bit more. I'm kind of greedy in that sense. You obviously know how hard it is to win a championship. 82 games in a full play, building a foundation for later on down the road. 10 years I want to be known as a guy that played the game the right way. Hopefully still in the league and still effective in the league. It's something we always dream about, going through championships. Our goal is to win a championship, and it's one that's realistic for us. Pure joy. Holding that Larry O'Brien trophy is something that you dream about as a kid. Champagne in the locker room.
They want to do it again. That's it.
I always want a little bit more. I'm kind of greedy in that sense. You obviously know how hard it is to win a championship. 82 games in a full playoff run, a lot can happen. I know what all the greats that have held that trophy before, history of the league and dynasties and all that type of stuff.
We're only on the stage for so long,
and I want a little bit more.
Grizzlies up 3, no lead rejuvenate by either team. We remind you, legendary rock band The Who coming to FedEx Forum on Friday, May 13th. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster.com or the FedEx Forum box office. And you can step up your pregame routine with The Rally. Your favorite athletes to the top insiders in sports bring you an all-new experience. Watch The Rally every weekday on Bally Sports Southeast. Our sideline reporter Rob Fisher and Trevor Knight, Pete Bronica with you. Our Grizzlies broadcasting crew here on the scene in downtown Minneapolis, this closeout game. Minnesota wins. There's a Game 7, 2:30 Sunday afternoon at FedEx Forum. Grizzlies win. It is Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors. That will also tip at 2:30 on Sunday afternoon.
As long as the Bulls play these two small guards, it allows Taylor Jenkins to play Tyus and John Morant extended minutes.
Karl Anthony Towns, that's an offensive foul, his second. They come back with Towns to replace Monroe, so it's Towns, Beverly, Russell, and McLaughlin on the floor, and Edwards out. And you see the left elbow clearing out Jaren. Easy call for Courtney Kirkland.
Very easy call.
Morant, that's a kick ball by Beverly. Shot clock will remain at 20 to reset the Grizzlies lineups. Brooks, Jackson, Tillman, Morant, and Tyus Jones.
And a partner, I like one adjustment the Grizzlies look like they're trying to make is sending the high screen and roll for John Morant higher, as high as you can send it, to give him as much space to then have a running start at the big that is defending.
That close to the top of the three-point line than the top of the key. Morant against Russell, drives, pitches it out, extra pass. Dillon, pass down to three, drives to the lane line, misses the floater, rebound Towns. Dillon had an open three, but passed on it. McLaughlin going all the way to the cup and laying it in.
Jordan McLaughlin has paid dividends for this Wolves team whenever they have called his number.
Tillman steps out and steps out of bounds. Unforced there, that's 7 turnovers on the Grizzlies, and in a game where you need possession, that hurts. Jordan McLaughlin got Morant turned around and took it all the way inside.
He's been a solid presence for Minnesota the entire series.
Had 16 points in Game 4. Russell, rebound Jackson.
Good box out by Dillon Brooks on Karl Anthony Towns.
Again, Towns, the only player on the floor with 2 fouls. Kyle Anderson back to the scorer's table. Brooks drives. Bank not open. Loose ball picked up by Beverly. Minnesota, a chance for the lead. Beverly elevates, yes, and the foul on Xavier Tillman.
See, as Patrick Beverly sees the lane, tough call on Tillman, doesn't do much in terms of taking his body to the offensive player, but on the other part of it, Jaren Jackson Jr. had a mismatch with D'Angelo Russell in the post. He didn't really need to come out and set a screen. Just let him stay in the post, throw the ball back to him, and let him go to work.
8th lead change of the game. Edwards in, McDaniels out. And Beverly taking his time to get to the free throw line.
Back and forth affair that we have to this point, and neither team is able to gain complete control.
Beverly converts the three-point play. It's amazing when the officials let the guys play.
Yeah, it's been, hey, listen, they are allowed. They're telling the guys, you guys want to make the decision of who wins or loses.
Kyle Anderson, pump fake, Clark to the rim, and he had it rejected. Morant attacking, finger roll, Clark follows.
And one thing that the Grizzlies got to do, and what I like right there was play through the contact. There was no whistle, but it didn't affect their play.
Anthony Edwards already 2 blocks. He has had a marvelous all-around game. Backdoor cut, McLaughlin, 10 to shoot. Towns drives on Bain. Bain with a great knockaway. And then a foul called. A loose ball foul called on Kyle Anderson.
Where's the foul?
Grizzlies clearly disagreeing with Courtney Kirkland. And
well, yeah, because we've had contact the entire game. You have contact that has nothing to do with the play to give them the possession back again.
10 to shoot. Edwards. Clark has him on a switch. Edwards, a pull-up 3, that's in. Anthony Edwards now 3 of 4 from 3, 19 points for him. Minnesota a 3-point lead, and that questionable whistle hurts the Grizzlies. Brooks, boarded by Edwards.
That is a huge call. Just momentum.
And that's got to be an offensive foul, and it is on Anthony Edwards.
Great job by Dylan Brooks. Reading the play and then doing a good job of sacrificing his body, standing and taking the charge.
And a subtle thing by Clark there, enough of a redirect so that Brooks could get set in time.
Yes.
6th Minnesota turnover, first foul on Edwards. Brooks against Edwards, second foul on Edwards. So Edwards, 2 fouls in short order.
They got a little too handsy on the move by Dylan Brooks.
Under 4 remaining in the first half. Brooks trying to find his way. He fades, he fires, and the rebound to Towns. Grizzlies down to 43% shooting. Minnesota at 50%. Towns full head of steam, and the Grizzlies need a timeout.
He's coming down as a runaway freight train. Very hard to get in front of this partner.
Towns with 6 in Minnesota, its largest lead of the game.
Oh my dog, roll dog, man. Let it go,
I guess that says it all.
What up, Deuce? What up, Raylan?
What's up, Deuce? What's up, Deucey, baby?
It's Uncle Drew.
Ain't speaking now, huh? Ain't speaking now.
Great stuff. Thanks,
right,
Brad.
The real Uncle Drew.
His beard is real.
Right.
Look at the Beal boys.
Great.
They're off. 94 feet. Let's go.
You're 2 assists away from another triple-double tonight. You have had such an epic week. What's been the story of your success?
Water. Just drinking water. H2O.
Water.
I'm playing with you. You know, waking up.
Shooting 3 of 4 from deep.
And they're going to need him to continue with his three-point marksmanship in this game, but also creating shots, movement without the basketball. A lot of Grizzlies had success, I thought, in that first quarter. 9 assists they were able to come up with on 11 made baskets. So they got to continue to have good body
and ball movement, that is what allows Desmond Bane to be potent.
The Grizzlies have missed, however, 7 of their last 8 as Minnesota has gone on this 10-2 run.
One of the things that you look down the Grizzlies do a better job of finishing in the painted area. Only 9 for 24 on shots in the paint to this point.
A market change from the first 5 games of the series. Morant 0 of 2 from the line. Ball but a block by Clark. Morant to the rim and in. First bucket for Morant tonight.
A great job of him forcing the issue. It's one thing that the Grizzlies would like to have more of is pace in the game.
Towns doubled. Splits through, draws the foul. It'll be on Bane. First foul on Bane.
The one thing you don't want, we talk about, you don't want to allow a guy to split when you do have him on the double team. And this is just forcing the issue by John Morant. 2 defenders there, but he's able to split and score.
Remember Stacey Ogden used to call him Plastic Man?
Yes.
A little bit of Plastic Man there.
That's a little throwback there. It did look like with Stacey Ogden that arms and legs were coming from any and every angle.
Towns' first trip to the free throw line tonight. 15 foul on the Grizzlies. Minnesota with 3 team fouls in the period. McDaniels back in, McLaughlin out for Minnesota.
That's what I'm saying with that trap of Towns, and it's something that he has done the entire series. He's going to explore, can he step through the double team to try to create a scoring opportunity for himself. The Grizzlies have to stay strong and force him to have to throw the ball over the top.
Towns makes both. Towns with 4 double-doubles in the 5 games so far. He's got 8 and 4 so far tonight. A 3-point Minnesota lead. Morant challenges Towns, and it's stripped by Towns. Russell thought about the 3, will drive and get to the cup. Back to a Clark, going to challenge Towns, spin, elevate, and hit.
And then why not the contact after the shot, the same contact that we call on Kyle Anderson. Brandon Clark deserves the same whistle.
Makes perfect sense to me. Edwards against Clark, shot clock at 8. Got the step, got through, Clark caught him on the wrist. Second foul on Brandon Clark. Edwards to the line where he's 2 for 2 tonight.
What you see here is Brandon Clark, the little spin move, takes the hit, and then there is able to finish. He loves that little left, takes the contact. Don't worry about the whistle. BC still able to finish.
Talk about Anthony Edwards. He's averaging better than 24 points per game in the series. It's the highest playoff scoring average by a player before turning 21. Stephon Marbury averaged 21 and change. Kobe Bryant averaged just under 20. To give you some context, and Edwards is doing this in his first playoff experience.
As the future comes for this Wolves organization, he will be the face of the team. And what we're seeing here tonight, him taking advantage of the switches. When the Grizzlies have switched bigs on him, he's been able to get to the basket and find scores.
At 3 40-point games in the regular season, he's got 20 so far. Crowd wanted to travel as Morant dealt with possession, and that's out of bounds to the Wolves. Grizzlies' 9th turnover of the game.
So in that first quarter, 9 assists, only 3 assists for the Grizzlies here in the second quarter.
Now the shooting has fallen off greatly as well. Edwards, rebound Jackson. thought about the three, picked up by Beverly. Bain curls. Yes, Desmond Bain. Grizzlies have trailed for about 70% of the minutes in this series. It's been a little bit more evenly played here in the first half. Both teams with runs in the lead. Towns drives on Jaren. Grizzlies wanted a foul call. And the foul's going to go on Jaren, his second. So Towns will go to the free throw line as the Grizzlies are over the limit.
Defensively, I think he did a good job. He stood his ground. We're just going to continue to point out to the officials that the off arm of Karl Anthony Towns, when he makes the move to the basket, when he cradles with one hand, there is almost as if I am shielding with the off hand, and then there's the extension to keep the defenders away.
Towns a perfect 3 for 3 from the line. That 70% of time in the lead by Minnesota, and the first miss by Thompson. Like third most in the NBA. Minnesota and Miami had been in the lead longer in their series. Well, they've already clinched. In fact, everybody has finished their first round series except this one, and it may take 7 games. The Grizzlies hold time.
Been highly competitive from game one.
Shot clock down to 5. Jaren lost his footing. Got it to Edwards, lost it to Edwards. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. Beverly, good if it goes. And that'll do it for the first half. Grizzlies 10 first half turnovers. Highly uncharacteristic for them in this series. Grizzlies averaging
there ain't no stopping us. Fly without boarding pass. Couldn't catch me, I be moving fast. Call me a shooting star. Let 'em know who you are. Flying up in a bar. Wish on a star. Time to show 'em who's in charge. Call me a shooting star.
Didn't even get to bronze.
I said I'm moving too far. Get to glass. Looking at a shooting star. Got more than a couple of people going mad. I swear they're rooting hard. Tell them I be big in the game like she went and got them breast implants. I said I'm moving too fast. Didn't even get a glance. I'm ready to eat up track like I'm seated in a restaurant. If you had swag like mine, you know it's best to flaunt. We on, hating because you want. Shining like it's neon. Rock like kings of Leon. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Shooting stars across the galaxy. I stand out, so don't be mad at me. Infiltrate, I'm with my strategy. When I turn up, then I just have to leave. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting. Yeah, shooting shots. Shooting stars.
Didn't even get to bronze.
Around the Memphis area, Fourth Bluff Park. Shout out to you.
Some in Nashville too, partner.
Yeah, our good friend Eric Gardner's got one at his house, and you got a whole bunch of people out by the pool. We might be on the big screen out by his pool.
Wow. Well, keep the pool party going because the party's about to start for the Grizzlies here inside.
Timberwolves will have it first to start the second half. Trying to force Game 7 on Sunday afternoon at FedEx Forum. D'Angelo Russell tees up a three. And Minnesota promptly has its largest lead of the game.
Off of a well-executed play to get D'Angelo Russell the wide-open look.
Tillman rolls to the rim, flips it up, and the rebound to Towns. Grizzlies got a good look from Tillman, but would not go down. Edwards. Brooks flies by, sets up Russell. Hesitation move on Bain. Finger roll, drops in. And Russell, who was dead quiet in the first half, has the first 5 of the third period, and Minnesota out to an 8-point lead.
That's what makes this team so dangerous is that we talk about 3 guys that are bona fide scorers in Russell, Edwards, and Towns.
Russell averaged 31 in 3 games against the Grizzlies in the regular season, but he's been much more quiet here in the playoffs. Russell averaging only 13 a game in the series.
Well, let's see, partner, and the Grizzlies half-court sets. How many times can they get the ball side to side? If they continue to stay on one side, or if you pound it too long, then the Wolves defensively are very good.
Morant thought he was fouled, throws up a 3-point air ball, and a shot clock violation. Not a good start for the Grizzlies at the top of the third.
I'll tell you this much, anything dealing with Karl Anthony Towns on the defensive end. The Grizzlies are going to continue to play through whatever contact he delivers. Same play to start the third quarter. The Wolves are running again here.
Vanderbilt against Jaren. Good contest. Rebound falls to Morant. So again, you've got to read the room, and the officials are not calling a lot of fouls tonight. Not going to get bailed out with contact. Although Dillon, wow, bit of bully ball and a finger roll finish.
There's no way that D'Angelo Russell can stay in front of the more physical Dillon Brooks. Continues to have a good offensive night.
That was a kick ball. Shot clock will stay at 17 for Minnesota.
See if Dillon does a good job of just being able to out-physical D'Angelo Russell to the front of the rim.
12 for Brooks, who's averaging 15 a game in the series.
That's another area the Grizzlies like to do better here in the second half. Finishes in the paint.
Towns taps it in. They give it to Vanderbilt, I beg your pardon. Well, he did give it to Towns. Morant. That's tipped out by Edwards. Grizzlies keep, but the momentum on Minnesota's side at the moment. 2 minutes into the third quarter. Grizzlies want to stay in contact because Minnesota's had big issues in the fourth quarter of games in this series.
I like to stay in contact because it's also when John Morant then finds his mojo as he finds
defensive miscommunication by the Wolves. You got 3 Wolves barking at each other.
Tillman, nice cut to the basket.
First bucket for Tillman tonight. Towns goes right at Tillman and is fouled on his way to the rim. It'll be Jaren Jackson Jr., his third foul.
Well, the problem in that one is Jaren got to be there when you're supposed to be there. They double from the baseline at all times. You see here's Morant. The Wolves get caught standing around. He's able to find Tillman. But on the other end, if you're the low guy defensively, you know your responsibility is to trap on the baseline side. Jaren, because he was a step late, now the reaction puts himself in jeopardy to foul with Towns.
Towns 3 of 4 from the free throw line tonight. Towns, one of those guys, Brevin, 40% from 3, 50% inside the arc, 60% inside the restricted area.
But there is no denying the talent that he possesses. There's not one person in this league that would question his talent. The biggest thing is the consistency of his play on both ends of the floor.
1 of 2 from the line. Towns would like to validate his status if he can get this Timberwolves team a win in 7 games. Vanderbilt with a block. Dillon backing down. The half hook. Honeycombs in and out. Rebound Vanderbilt. Edwards. Jaren picks him up. Edwards pinballs inside and another foul. It'll be on Tillman, his second.
That is what Edwards has been able to do the entire night. Off the dribble move and then goes into 2 slow steps as he gets into the painted area, has been able to score, and there throws a foul on Tillman.
Edwards to the free throw line. Shooting 40% from 3 in the series before his 3 of 5 performance from the long line tonight. Grizzlies will take a timeout here. 9:04 remaining in the third quarter, and Minnesota, their largest lead of the night, a 9-4 start to the half, and they lead at 61-53. Timeout Memphis in Game 6.
Oh my dog, roll dog, man. Let it go.
I guess that says it all.
What up, Deuce? What up, Raylan?
What's up, Deuce? What's up, Deucey, baby?
It's Uncle Drew.
Ain't speaking now, huh? Ain't speaking now.
Great stuff. Thanks, Brad.
The real Uncle Drew.
His beard is real.
Right.
Look at the Beal boys.
Great.
They're off. 94 feet. Let's go.
You're 2 assists away from another triple-double tonight. You have had such an epic week. What's been the story of your success?
Water. Just drinking water. H2O.
Water.
I'm playing with you. You know, waking up, getting good practice, just everyday basis for real.
I've been looking forward to one of these in person for quite some time, right?
Facts.
Come on, Cole. Down by 10 in the fourth quarter.
Facts.
What did you guys do to come back and win this game?
We fought, man. Shout out to the team, man. Shout out to RJ. Shout out to Dell. Shout out to Mo Bamba. Shout out to my whole team, man. You know we had to go get that dub, man. Shout out to the Magic, man. Let's go.
You bring in a special guest. We saw that you were getting a little practice in before the game tonight. How'd that go?
Trying to breed a hooper, man. Put the ball in her hands early. She a little shot now with camera and everybody around, but this is my baby, my motivation right here, and the only right to make history on a night she's here to watch me. So.
In the final game of 2021, and you guys get a win.
You know that.
Okay, so
New year, new me. Same me though.
we'll come back here. We got one more question. How do you keep this energy going?
On time. That was in game 2.
It's been winning the fourth quarter that has allowed them to be in this series with a lead of 3-2.
That's the truth, because the Timberwolves' first quarters, they've been the better teams. Third quarters, they've been the better teams. It has just been going into the halves and finishing the game where the Grizzlies have found an advantage.
And Minnesota, one of the lowest scoring teams in second quarters in the playoffs. The Grizzlies have only the second and the fourth. Beverly knocks it out of bounds, introduced himself to a front row fan. Grizzlies retain 7 on the shot clock.
Right now, the Minnesota Timberwolves activity on the defensive side, taking the Grizzlies, pushing the Grizzlies further out on the floor while they're trying to execute their offense.
Minnesota's level of desperation is higher at the moment. Jaren, short, and the rebound tipped out to D'Angelo Russell. Jaren thought about the 3, instead pulled from 2 and came up short. Edwards with a skip pass. Towns, yes, and the foul. Fouls on Dylan Brooks. That's 2 on Brooks.
So the contact here tonight, any contact going towards Towns, he's gotten the benefit of the whistle. Contact that he has given, there's been no whistle.
4 of 6 from the free throw line. Tillman comes out, Brandon Clark back in. Clark with a dozen off the bench, and Minnesota starting to create some separation on the scoreboard. Grizzlies not a stranger to that situation in this series. They're now down 11.
Yeah, but it's just the effort here on both ends of the floor, out of the locker room, going into Wolves' favor at this point.
And then Morant loses it out of bounds. Morant only 4 points, 6 assists.
So they're going to need him to wake up, partner.
Yeah, at the last time out, he was minus 12.
He's got to become an integral part of this game. Cannot just think that his teammates are going to keep it alive, and then they're going to be able to make another late run in this game.
Towns, 15 for the game. Bane drives on Russell. Morant, a ball fake, and now a Jaren triple out of the corner. That's off. Towns with a rebound. Crowd sensing Minnesota about to blow this one open. Towns against Clark. Dillon grabs at it. That frees Edwards for 3. Bane rebound. Look out from behind. Vanderbilt closing. Clark attacking and lost it on a reach-in foul to Scott Foster. Foul on Vanderbilt. That will be his first.
You see the Grizzlies wanting to push here, and then from the rear, you see Vanderbilt with the slap down defensively. And again, you look at the clock, and something that we've had to say too many times in this series, which is the game is not over. There's still time left for the Grizzlies to make their run, but they're going to have to step up their physicality here in this third quarter.
Brooks behind a Clark screen for 3. It's through. Dylan Brooks, his third triple in 4 tries. 15 for Brooks.
Well, it's nice he's at his offensive hand here this evening.
Towns, deep position. Beverly for 3. Beverly now with 6, his first 3-point make of the night. Morant through the lane, yes, and the foul. Foul on Vanderbilt, his second.
They're going to need more of that, partner. Where this is, you come around the screen, forces the issue somewhat, gets to the rim. They're going to need the effort that they got from him in the fourth quarter in Game 5. They're going to need for it to start now here in this third quarter.
Grizzlies erased the 13-point deficit in Game 5. They're tasked with the same issue again tonight. And Morant converts the 3-point play. 7 for Morant. Minnesota up to 50% shooting for the game as we near the midway point of quarter number 3. Russell, a step back. Rebound Jackson, good box out of Towns.
Yeah, good battle that time there by Jaren inside.
Morant attacking Vanderbilt again, lays it up and in, and another foul.
Said they were going to need for that switch to be turned. It's fine for you to be a floor general, but this is when the Grizzlies are good, is when John Morant is pushing the pedal. And right now, partner, in these last 2 possessions, we've seen the pedal be pushed by Mr. Morant.
Morant, the last 5 points for Memphis. We check in with Rob Fisher.
You know how big he was there in Game 5. Taylor Jenkins said he was huge. Might need the same speech that he gave in Game 5. Just stay the course. He said the communication with his teammates was phenomenal. It's a great part of playoff basketball. You don't know how you're going to get a win, but you got to keep chipping away. Keep trusting it. Obviously, Ja had a brilliant fourth quarter. Hopefully he can get it going here, guys, a little earlier.
Great contest by Jaren. Crowd screams for a foul. Morant on the attack, and another foul, and Karl Anthony Towns.
I think it may be D'Angelo Russell.
Well, Towns reacted very aggressively in front of Mark Lindsay, which is why I thought it might have been a Towns foul, but it is on Russell.
But you see with John Morant, the attack of the basket yielded 2 baskets, 2 fouls. The attack of the basket on the third time, another foul. So not only the points, but it's allowing the Grizzlies to get closer to the penalty to go to the free throw line.
14 fouls against Minnesota. Kyle Anderson is in. Bain, a flyby, and then a block by Beverly from behind. Shot clock down to 8. Dillon behind the back, elevates, and it puts in a rainmaker too.
Dillon Brooks, he said, feeling it on the offensive end. Got himself started early and often.
Grizzlies within 6 after trailing by 13. Dillon with a knockaway. Bain wanted to pull from 3. Gives to Brooks against Jaden McDaniels, who checks in as Vanderbilt sits down with the 3 fouls. Anderson in the lane. Morant, a clean look at a 3. And the rebound, Towns. Morant 0 for 4 from 3.
That's right. That's a great possession, great pass, great look.
Towns. And the rebound, Anderson.
Brandon did a great job, partner, just getting his body in between Towns and the basket.
Anderson thought about the 3. He drives on McDaniels and lays it in. Timeout, Minnesota.
What do you say, partner? There's still a lot of games to be played. The Grizzlies still have time to come back. They just need to flip the switch. They turned the light on, partner.
Yeah, they're starting to come back a little earlier than they did in Game 5. Grizzlies within 4 in Minnesota.
George, this is you. Danny, you're taking the ball out. On the hit. Bam. Right when he gets past you, George.
John Morant, Dillon Brooks center to that. But first, we tell you to make yourself the favorite in sports betting. How can you do that? Check out Live on the Line, the all-new show that covers overs, unders, and everything in between. Live on the Line weekdays on Valley Sports Southeast at 11 o'clock Central. Dillon Brooks, 7 of his 17, Brevin, here in the third quarter.
Yeah, and I thought Dillon, from the outset of the game, had a different mentality on the offensive end. We always talk about how good of a tough shot maker he is. Well, he's made some tough shots.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Big spots on the floor. And when he gets to those spots on the floor, he's able to knock down shots for this Grizzlies team. He's going to have to stay competitive on the offensive end defensively, give them what they need defensively, but on the offensive end, force the Wolves to be 2 steps closer to him.
Jordan McLaughlin is into the game. So he's in. D'Angelo Russell is out. McLaughlin has been a crucial role player for Minnesota in this series. Edwards picked up by Kyle Anderson. 10 to shoot for Edwards. A pull-up fadeaway by Edwards. Dances off, and the rebound Morant. Dillon, an open three. Bango! Dillon Brooks, 10 in the quarter, and the Grizzlies within 1 from 13 down.
And the Grizzlies pushed with different pace to the game, initiated by Morant and Dillon Brooks, staying hot.
And Brooks guarding Towns as he did in Game 5. Brandon Clark with a block. Grizzlies a chance for the lead. Morant against Edwards, pitches it out and threw it right to McLaughlin. A Beverly three and a huge turnaround. The Grizzlies 13 turnovers, now leading to 14 Minnesota points.
And that had been an area the Grizzlies dominated here, but it's been the Wolves taking advantage.
Clark. Anderson against McDaniel, 6 to shoot. Crosses him over, goes in the lane, forces it up and in. Kyle Anderson, his second basket of the game.
Shifty Kyle Anderson off the dribble.
Towns. McLaughlin cuts and hits. Good find by Towns, his second assist of the game. Brooks, full head of steam, going to the glass. Got steamrolled and no call.
I told you, anything going towards Towns at the basket, Beverly misses that open three, but Edwards able to clean the glass.
And then the loose ball filters out to Morant, and then a take foul. And for Minnesota, that'll put them over the limit, so free throws coming. Beverly, the take foul, his third, and Minnesota over the limit.
What I like what John Morant has done here in this third quarter in terms of set pace. Grizzlies had to create some type of offensive pace. He has been the initiator of the pace, and you couple that with Dillon Brooks' ability to continue to make shots as the Grizzlies early in this game.
Morant shooting 70% from the line in this series. Now 4 of 7. Tyus Jones in, Bane out. Malik Beasley into the game for Minnesota. Morant, a couple of years ago, Rookie of the Year, Most Improved Player this year. Morant with 11 in the game and 7 here in the quarter. Towns drives, pitches it out. McDaniel's an open three. McDaniel's 4 of 5 from 3. He has 13 of the 23 bench points for Minnesota.
Karl-Anthony Towns though making it happen again off the dribble.
Clark going at Towns. Towns may have gotten a fingernail on it. And Brooks a take foul against McLaughlin. Grizzlies had 1 to give. Third on Brooks.
Well, the Grizzlies, they've done a good job of working their way back into the game. Just want to finish out this third quarter strong.
They have owned the fourth quarter in the series.
So you want to minimize this deficit going into the fourth.
Towns, Kyle Anderson, good hands, but McDaniels is there. McDaniels ties his playoff career high, had 15 in game 1. He's got 15 tonight, and the lead back to 7 for Minnesota.
This looks like the Jaden McDaniels from All-Star Weekend here tonight.
He's on the Rising Stars roster. He scored the last 6 for Minnesota. Morant on the baseline, the pass deflected, and the Grizzlies with a throwaway. 14th turnover of the game. Beasley, drop off, McDaniels dunks. Grizzlies call for time, and Minnesota has responded to the Grizzlies rally with one of their own. And they have rebuilt the lead to 9 with under 2 remaining in the third.
The turnovers, partner, the Grizzlies have to do better protecting the basketball.
Grizzlies 16 points lost off of 14 turnovers.
Look at the hustle of Lamar Odom. Off to Kobe Bryant. Counted for two, or let's see. Yep, counted for two and a foul.
Look at Odom. He finds Kobe, and Kobe with emphasis.
Double team Gasol now. The single coverage by Landry. Ariza drop down. Kobe! Oh! Up high! Down hard! Kobe Bryant! Hold on.
Minnesota has had an answer for the Grizzlies every time tonight. After Minnesota led by 13, Grizzlies got it down to 2, but again, the Grizzlies 14 turnovers for the game, 4 here in the period, leading to 7 Minnesota points.
Yeah, and that's something that the Grizzlies are going to have to do a better job of for the duration of the game in terms of, we said they wanted to create the extra possessions on their side with being able to force the turnovers, but it's been the Wolves' advantage here tonight in terms of forcing and converting.
Grizzlies were averaging 3.5 fewer turnovers in Minnesota in the series, but Memphis has twice as many turnovers, 14-7, as Minnesota. And it has been a big difference. Minnesota +9 in points off turnovers.
Well, Grizzlies again have to make another, see if they can make another little flurry here to finish out this third quarter.
Resiliency is being tested yet again. Bain, that pass deflected. Monroe is in, forces another turnover. McLaughlin and what's the call for Mark Lindsay a game? They're almost at those numbers. We haven't gotten through the third quarter yet. As you look at Chris Finch taking over from Ryan Saunders midway through the season last year. McLaughlin 1 of 2 from the free throw line.
They've used Greg Monroe with some screen and roll action with this lineup.
Clark. Jaren against McDaniels, 10 to shoot. Drives, banks, no. Rebound, followed, out of bounds. That's off Minnesota. Oh, no, Mark Lindsay. That was off. I could have sworn that was off of Minnesota. Minnesota 8 straight.
Monroe in, knocked down 2, allowed the Grizzlies a chance to get back and set up their defense.
Brandon with 12 and 6 boards. Jaren Jackson Jr. good rebounding game with 10, but only 6 points on 2 of 9 shooting.
Maybe 2 early threes in the game, did Jaren. But the biggest thing though is you still just want him to be on the floor. Him on the floor still gives the Grizzlies a great opportunity.
Clark was 65% from the line in the regular season. Came up with 8 big ones in the Game 3 win. Ten-point game, 40 seconds remaining in the third.
Edwards out of the corner.
Monroe and Conchar, who just checked in with a rebound.
Conchar is one of his strengths. Great rebounding from that guard position.
He'll get you possessions. But when you talk about possessions and shot attempts, Minnesota and Memphis virtually even. Grizzlies -8 in turnovers. That was part of the pinnacle effective device of the game. Conchar, 4-3. Rebound McLaughlin. And Minnesota can hold for the final shot of the third quarter. Edwards on a blow-by. Rebound Conchar, and that'll do it for the third quarter. Minnesota was up 3 at half. They expand the lead to 10. And once again, the Grizzlies with work to do heading to the fourth quarter. 84-74. Minnesota 12 minutes away from forcing a game 7. Memphis 12 minutes away from closing up the series.
22 assists for Boston right now on 30 hoops.
Oh, yeah!
Inside, Tatum.
Oh, yeah, Marcus Smart! Let's go!
It's an innate skill that he seems to really have.
Because so much of it is instinctual.
Achua off the leg. Griffin dives back for it. Brooklyn will retain possession.
Hits you over the head every night.
got to be ready. He had to fight around a Steven Adams screen to get out there.
On the first quarter. Into the paint.
Yeah. So
untouched was Grant.
Well, it was a breakdown defensively. DD was on the baseline trying to figure out, and this is what Alvarado does. He does this like once a week. He hides out in the corner.
Finds a three to his liking, blocked by Jones. Then it's blocked by LeBron. Then he nearly goes. Look out. Over the first row, LeBron trying to, with a hustle play, the effort trying to save the crowd will roar its approval on this one.
Levine trying to take advantage of the matchup, had it knocked away. Harkless. Oh, Caruso, what a play!
Cookies! Yum, yum, yum! Good hustle.
Came all the way back and now comes down and draws a foul. AC turning it up.
Good defense, Kuzma. Beal has it with Harrell. Leaves it for Montrezl Harrell. Good unselfish play by Beal.
For Hero, 2 on the shot clock, and the Heat turnover. The 15th turnover tonight for Miami. Blocked by Caleb Martin. Boy, this third-year man out of Nevada.
Yeah, nice to know what the league feels about the Pistons and their young players.
Nikhil Alexander-Walker had it swiped by Dre Lyles.
Brooks against Beasley. Screen by Jackson. 6 to shoot. Bain on the deck to the cup and a finger roll by Desmond Bain. He's got 17.
And Jaren Jackson Jr. doing his best Steven Adams impression. Boxing out Karl Anthony Towns so Desmond Bain can get to the rim. And if you look for down the stretch to retain leads with him out of the game, see if the Wolves can falter again down the stretch.
Well, that was one of those things that Chris Finch talked about, that in fourth quarters he was concerned his team devolved into too much hero ball. McLaughlin wants nothing to do with hero ball. He wants to set up his teammates, and he has 4 assists so far tonight.
And those 4 assists, 3 of them coming here in this fourth quarter. So he's had a big game in this series with points at 16 points in a game in this series. And now here in this fourth quarter, just trying to lead and get guys good looks.
Towns splits the pair. Minnesota has the worst net rating in the playoffs in the fourth quarter. Grizzlies want to try to take advantage if they can. Morant back in the game. Bullet past Jaren. Good find by Morant, his 8th assist.
Well, a great job for Jaren, because one of the things that Jaren likes to do is pick and pop. Well, with this lineup on the floor, him rolling to the basket is a weapon.
McLaughlin will try for 3. Rebound Jackson, his 12th. Double-double for Jaren. Had a career-high 7 in the regular season, first one of the series.
Well, like it's 26 minutes for Jaren.
Morant, a ball fake. Jaren, fouled, will go to the free throw line. Yeah, Jaren's availability, he's played 26 minutes tonight.
So we see here, he sets the screen and rolls hard to the basket. Nice little ball fake, allows the guard, has the hands to come down just enough for Morant to make a perfect pass to Jaren. And we always said, I don't care if Jaren goes over. I just want Jaren to be in the game. Because when he's in the game, positive things happen for him. And these are big defensive minutes for Tyus Jones on Russell.
Beverly screens, Morant against Russell on the switch. 6 to shoot. Towns, guarded by Brooks. 3 to shoot. A fade away by Towns, rimming no. Rebound tap, and Jaden McDaniels got to it and drew a loose ball foul. Oh, they're going to call this shooting foul.
The problem is they got to box out. Like that's not Jaren Jackson Jr.'s fault on this situation here. Is everyone's boxing out. You got to box out. Desmond Bain is down here. Got to put a body on McDaniels. Everything down the stretch. You have to do it all, partner.
And McDaniels zeroing in on his career high. He set it with 22 points in a home game against Utah.
He has been foul prone through the majority of this series, but here tonight, staying out of foul trouble, giving the Wolves a boost from the bench.
Originally drafted by the Lakers and traded to Oklahoma City and then on here to Minnesota. 21 points, playoff career high for Jaden McDaniels. Morant, double. Tyus drives, his floater is in. Tyus Jones.
This Grizzlies team, they just continue to fight. And one thing that I know they're going to do is they're going to force the Wolves to have to execute and win down the stretch.
Grizzlies 14 fouls in the period. Tyus Jones out. Brandon Clark will come in and a timeout taken by Minnesota. 94-91. Timberwolves clinging to the lead midway point of the fourth of Game 6 on Bally Sports.
I'm Stephen Curry, and this is my past, my present, and my future. Basketball is everything to me.
A lot of years of being in the gym by myself, running, lifting weights, all that kind of stuff. Building a foundation for later on down the road. 10 years I want to be known as a guy that played the game the right way. Hopefully still in the league and still effective in the league. Something we always dream about, playing for championships. Our goal is to win a championship, and it's one that's realistic for us. Pure joy.
from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight.
Anthony Edwards, 4 of 7 and 26 for Edwards. Bain drives and is called for an offensive foul. Second on Bain. And the 18th turnover for Memphis.
Right now, again, it's the turnovers here because we said possessions highly important for this Grizzlies team. They have to continue to get looks on their end. Good D.
Steal by Bain. Morant. A DB 3. We are tied again at 97. Brooks, 5 of 6 from beyond. 23 for Brooks.
Now this is where the stop comes. Taylor Jenkins implores his Grizzlies team to buckle down.
Grizzlies now 16 points off 11 Minnesota turnovers. And the Grizzlies get a block.
Great D by BC.
Grizzlies collapse upon Edwards. Grizzlies a chance for the lead. Brooks, a finger roll too strong, and an offensive foul. And that's 6 on Dylan Brooks. He's out.
Great steal defensively. It starts to break for the Grizzlies going the other way, and Morant able to find Dylan Brooks and knocks down that 3. And this is a tough one on Dylan Brooks to pick up his 6th foul. You lose a defender, you lose size, you lose a scorer, especially with the way that he has shot the ball here tonight.
He had been doing some defending against Towns. Now Jaren will defend Towns. Bain has Towns on a switch. Edwards drives through the lane and draws a foul. It'll be 5 on Jaren, and now the foul problem starting to mount.
I don't see that.
The indication was that Courtney Kirkland said that he hit him on the head. You could not see it from that angle, if that was really the case or not, but
the basketball.
We're going to have an officials conference here, and I'm not sure exactly why. Courtney Kirkland made the foul call.
they were saying something with a goaltend situation.
There's no goaltender.
Yeah, I don't, but that's what they got ready to start. And Chris Finch they wanted the review for the timeout. And for whatever reason, they never honored the review in that situation.
Well, you can't review anything.
Well, I'm just saying, Chris Finch was trying to call a timeout. They were saying that thought it was goaltending from their side of the bench on the shot attempt.
Exactly, but you can't challenge it because no call was ever made.
Exactly.
Edwards good with the first. He's 5 of 7 from the line. Makes them both. So Tyus Jones comes in, and the Grizzlies, small with the exception of Brandon Clark and Jaren Jackson Jr. Morant sees a crowd. Clark. Shot clock down to 4. Tyus, desperation 3, trimming no, rebound Towns.
5 guys standing out on the perimeter makes it very hard for anything to happen for the Grizzlies.
Edwards, a step back 3. Rebound Jackson is 13th, a 14-point, 13 rebound double-double for Jaren Jackson Jr. Morant turns the corner, foul on Towns. It's the 3rd on Towns, 3rd on Minnesota of the period.
For the Grizzlies, whenever a screen is set, they're going to need one of these guys, Brandon Clark or Jaren Jackson Jr. One has to roll to the front of the rim, pull a defender to the front of the rim, then the skip passes will be there. Or Morant, who's done a great job of faking the skip, can fire it on to the interior.
Morant against Edwards. Collapsed upon, Clark gets fouled. Foul on Towns is his 4th. Why there was no foul on Edwards on the initial play, I have no idea.
I think we're gonna have a review now. Maybe a hit to the face of Brandon Clark.
Okay. You want to know who's in Secaucus tonight?
Yeah, partner. It's our last one. So who's having steak and lobster?
Brent Barnaky's having steak and lobster. Very nice. Surf and turf. Yeah, flagrant foul is going to be reviewed. Again, it'll be Scott Foster that'll make the final call, but he will consult with Brent Barnaky, take another look at it. Clark. Oh, yes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. That definitely should be a flagrant foul.
Wind up, contact,
yes.
Follow through, contact to the head and neck area.
Going on the floor, the foul's been upgraded to a flagrant foul penalty.
A flagrant foul penalty.
Listen, when you go there, it's evident, you see it, no need to look at it 10 times. It's going to look the same.
So foul problems for Minnesota. Towns and Beverly with 4 apiece. For the Grizzlies, Jackson with 5. Dylan Brooks has already been disqualified with 6. And Clark just 1 of 2 from the line, but it's a 1-point game, and the Grizzlies retain possession after the flagrant foul, penalty 1.
Chris Finch, you think he doesn't know that Jordan McLaughlin keeps the ball moving? D'Angelo Russell came into this game just 3 minutes ago. They have made a substitution to bring McLaughlin back into the game. Brandon Clark has blood.
He has blood on the elbow, so we'll take a 30-second timeout. With our sideline reporter Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight on Pete Chronica. This will be a final telecast on Valley Sports for this season, regardless of the outcome of this game. If we do have a Game 7, it will be 2:30 Sunday afternoon. National television on ABC. And if the Grizzlies close this out tonight, it'll be Game 1 against the Golden State Warriors, and we will have post-game coverage throughout the second round on Valley Sports Southeast. Patrick Beverly injecting himself into the Grizzlies huddle, where he is not welcome.
I love Dylan Brooks.
Morant picked up by Towns. Under 4 remaining in regulation. Morant behind the back, spins, blocked by Towns. Got it back. Ja, Clark, offensive rebound, blocked by McDaniels. First block of the night for McDaniels. And a timeout taken by Minnesota.
Grizzlies had opportunities again around the basket. Just couldn't get it to go down, but you like the activity.
Well, you talked about possessions. Grizzlies 15 offensive rebounds tonight. But this one, an opportunity goes wanting.
So which way are you better off forcing?
Van Vliet finds Young again. Embiid's on him. Behind the back, shakes him. Embiid goes down. And Thaddeus Young with a highlight.
Against Joel Embiid. Crossover, puts Embiid to the floor and knocks down the jumper. Thaddeus Young hasn't been getting a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
They're creating extra possessions with offensive rebounds, and then they are getting baskets off of those offensive rebounds. They're going to have to defensively now, again, partner, you give up a 2 in the third, fourth quarter scoring. Again, out the water, but you want to give up 2s defensively. You don't want to give up a 3 over helping.
Right, force everybody inside the arc if you possibly can.
And all 5 guys rebound.
Right, Grizzlies lead the NBA, 31.5 points in the fourth quarter. They're shooting 44% from 3 in fourth quarters, and they have outscored Minnesota 32-18 here in the fourth.
You don't want to give up a quick 3 here in this situation. Force the Wolves to use some time and only be able to come up with a 2 if they get a score of any kind.
Again, Minnesota now down to 1 timeout, no fouls to give either way. Edwards, Towns, Beverly, McDaniels, and McLaughlin for the Timberwolves, trying to stay alive and force a game 7. Towns, Edwards, drives, dishes. McLaughlin drives and lays it in.
That's fine. That is okay. They used up some clock, and they only got a 2-point basket out of it.
Grizzlies, one of the best clutch teams in the NBA. They'll be called upon to pull another one out here. A 2-point lead. Clark comes to set the screen. Towns on a switch. Clark in the lane. Dump off. Jared dunks it in with 36.3. Lead back to 4.
Jared has been fantastic tonight around the rim. No 3s.
Edwards. Beverly steps out. Jared flies by. The Beverly 3, no. Slapped out of bounds by Towns, and the Grizzlies have it with 24.4.
So now it's a matter, you got to get the ball in bounds and expect the Wolves to foul immediately to extend the game.
And the Grizzlies will call timeout. They'll have the option to move it to front court, and I think Taylor Jenkins is asking for exactly that.
Definitely move it to the front court. Now that gives you the entire court to use to inbound the basketball to be one of the most important inbound plays of the season. Remember we talked about set a screen, you got to roll to the basket. The roll to the basket will draw a defender. McDaniel steps up. Jaren Jackson Jr. does a great job of going and attacking the rim to finish. Karl-Anthony Towns on the other side, not a shot blocker there. Nice determination by Jaren tonight.
Brandon Clark, meanwhile, his 3rd double-double of the series.
What do you think? Brandon Clark, double-double. Jaren Jackson Jr., double-double. John Morant, double-double. Individual play showing up here for the Grizzlies with team chemistry also.
Morant with 11 assists, 4 here in the fourth quarter.
Look at this number, partner.
Yeah, Jaren, 34 minutes. Best ability is availability, and Morant found a groove in the third quarter.
There was a time where he was able to flip the switch, and when he flipped the switch, then he was able to take off the pace of the game, picked up, he was able to get scores and get to the free throw line, and the Grizzlies started to find their rhythm.
Kyle Anderson checks in. Remember, Dylan Brooks has fouled out. But Morant with 13, 11 assists, and 8 rebounds. For Morant, his 4th double-double.
See Kyle Anderson enter the game as your inbounder to get it in.
And Vanderbilt also has come on. Towns is out for Minnesota. Grizzlies can go back court, and that's exactly what they do. Now Morant will have to get it to front court. Beverly takes the foul. Morant 5 of 8 from the free throw line tonight.
In winning time, he was 9 for 10 in last game. So this is when you expect your guys to step up, knock them down. But for the Grizzlies also, it is talking out your matchups right now. Who has who? What are you going to do on screen situations? Usually at this point, 1 through 5, you switch everything.
Morant to the line. Trying to make it a 6-point game if he hits both. Brandon Clark in for the Grizzlies. Towns and Monroe in. McDaniels and Vanderbilt out. Tonight's game produced by Scott Zachary, directed by Tom Hewitt. Brian Wright with the graphics, Bill Word, a.k.a. Shrek, with the replays tonight. They have been fantastic as a team all season long. We thank them for all their efforts over this long season. This is the last telecast, regardless of the outcome of tonight's game. We thank them. We thank all of you for watching all season long.
Partner, with them putting Monroe back in the game, the Wolves will use their last timeout. I would have expected them to try to save it because it's a two-possession game. Now they're out of timeouts at this point.
Well, remember, in Game 3, the 21-0 run, Chris Finch did not call a timeout.
Right.
Was criticized for it and took one back home with him. He ain't got no timeouts anymore. 110-104. Grizzlies up 6 with 20.7 remaining in Game 6.
Five and a half to go. Trying to tie the series at 2. Payne, 3-2, intercepted by Jones.
Man,
he is playing handball.
I mean, he's making this look ridiculous now. Look how far he started.
How in the world did he fall to the second round of the...
Dini's got a couple of triples.
It's like every time down, Portland's playing against the shot clock.
I guess we could say the Grizzlies are a fourth quarter team.
They've been that
on both ends of the floor, really.
They've been that in this series, as you said, on both ends. They've been great offensively, and they have been dynamic defensively. The offensive glass here in this fourth quarter has been tremendous.
Grizzlies with 6 offensive rebounds and 5 second chance points. It hasn't been a lot of point production, but it was what you said in the pinnacle effective advice of the game. It is a possession game. The Grizzlies plus 6 in shot attempts.
That's what you have to have. And right now, again, switch everything, but you want to force the shot to go to the basket. Twos do not hurt the Grizzlies at this point.
And if they go to the basket, let them go. No
don't help,
plays.
Don't help, and don't try to attempt anything.
Towns, Edwards for 3. No. Boarded by Jackson, fouled immediately by Beverly. The Grizzlies get the crucial stop with 15.9. And Beverly has fouled out for a second consecutive game.
And the thing was, let me tell you, I give Chris Finch this, I'm going to give him credit on this. This is the second great out-of-bounds, sideline out-of-bounds play that they have run. Game 5, they made the 3 with Edwards in the corner. This game, that was another great play. The shot didn't go down. Good contest by Jaren.
I'll tell you what, Chris Finch has really cemented himself as a very good basketball coach. This Minnesota team had the biggest improvement in win percentage from last year to this. Jaren, a pair at the line. Yes.
Well, here's know what happened. He'll get experience and learn the same way that Taylor Jenkins and his staff have learned the last 2 seasons.
And Jaren Jackson Jr., as you look at Jaden McDaniels, a career high, 24 points tonight. Jaren makes and makes again. An 8-point lead. 14 seconds remaining. Edwards drives, banks it in, 9.3. 112-106. 9.3 remaining. Minnesota out of timeouts. Steal by Edwards. Or did he knock it out of bounds?
So the Grizzlies just space away. They still have a timeout to use if they need it.
Tyus Jones back in. Clark comes out with 8.3. So Edwards did knock it out of bounds. Minnesota could not have challenged that anyway, as they are out of timeouts. Morant. Edwards wraps him up with 6.2. Brandon Clark comes back in. Going right down to the short ends here.
What are we going down to? What are we going down to? I mean, I understand. I know
the Grizzlies, and I know that it will be short rest to get ready for a Golden State team that handled Denver fairly easily. Edwards misses, and now it's official. The Grizzlies win the series in 6, 114-106. Game 1, Sunday, 2:30 in the afternoon on national telecast on ABC. And our final telecast on Valley Sports ends with a hammer, a nail, and a coffin, and a series win. 114-106. Grizzlies the victory over the Minnesota Timberwolves, a third double-digit comeback in the 4th quarter of a playoff series.
Said this Grizzlies team, they know how to finish because they have their star. They know what they need to do in order to finish. Wolves team is just figuring it out, but they played a hell of a season. These fans are showing them how much they appreciate the efforts that they put forth. This was not an easy series by any stretch of the imagination for this Grizzlies team.
No, the Grizzlies were pushed almost to the limit of 7 games and facing double-digit deficits on the regular, but the Grizzlies erased 3 of them in the postseason to take this series in 6 games. So many stories, and we'll talk about a lot of them on Grizzlies Live post-game. Coming over here to accept congratulations, but Jaren, the man of the match, he is with Rob Fisher.
He is taking a moment to gather himself. Jaren, congratulations. Tough series, man. What was the difference tonight?
I mean, we was down pretty much all the games we played. Down 10 going into the 4th quarter. That's kind of the story of the whole series. We just, we found it. We found it in everybody. Everybody brought it together when we needed it most. I'm just happy, man. I'm happy for these guys. I'm happy for the city. I'm happy for Memphis. This is for them. I see a lot of towels in there. I see a lot of our fans are here today.